Well, hello, my little space muffins. This is Sahara coming to you from beautiful Juneau, Alaska. I think in about 2 weeks I'll be coming to you from Oaxaca in the middle central part of Mexico. What it's a beautiful place up in the mountains. So, and I do a lot of this because I'm a relocation astrologer, so I can go and find good locations that are harmonious to me. Well, that's my astrology. And whoops, I forgot to tell you. I, I went to a hot tub. I just came back. Sorry for the children. I suppose that gives me a mystical look. I want to tell you all how well you did with the um, bilocation exercise. I just did it just because I thought it would be cool. I didn't know how effective it would be. My bilocation came true. I've never really known some. I guess this is kind of in the men who what stare at goats syndrome. So I don't really know about it. This kind of exercise, but it's a very natural thing to do. And I'm going to tell you a parable that Swami Kriyananda would tell uh, about disciples. And this is the way you want to be when you're practicing. And this is practice. And most of you chose to go to email me with your location exercise. It takes a little bit to put your things on this YouTube or on Facebook, and that makes a lot of sense. Um, but do record it if you still have the email that you sent to me. Record it off to a private place because you're going to be able to look at these things later, and then you start to sharpen up your abilities. So, because you did so well, and so did I surprised myself. I just, you know, but that's the whole idea. You just, if you take it lighthearted and don't stress and strain so much. Oh, my camera stopped. What? It stopped recording. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, they're good. Maybe it's the northern lights, aurora borealis. They say it gets the vibes working in the north. And they have hot tubs here. Um, they're some of them are outdoors. They're mineral springs, and that's where I've been. And that's why I have the turban on for my white hair. I know it looks very mystical, but it's just plain old me with a towel on my head. So I think I want to do these exercises again with a different twist and continue with me in looking at these exercises so you can progress with the rest of it. So be sure to um, subscribe and like if you want, a thumbs up like this. And so the subscribe button is down here. I'm sorry, don't know what's wrong with my camera. I think it's the northern lights. So anyhow, I love the hot tubs outside and the mineral springs, but trust me, I did not go roll in the snow. I'm not going to do that. Let's continue with what we first. I don't know. I read to you what I came up with um, what, in the relocation exercise. It was it was amazingly interesting. Hold on one second. I have to get to this. when I get to Oaxaca, I'm going to have somebody help me with my camera. I think it might be a little easier. Okay. I'm going to read to you, this is off of my computer, the different location exercise. And when you do this exercise again, we're going to do it different with a different twist. When you do this exercise again, I want you to remember the parables that Swami Kriyananda told. Uh, there once was a man who was in the army. He didn't want to be in the army. And so he would go around the base picking up pieces of paper off the ground, off desks, and he would pick them up and look at them and say, that's not it. And then he would go into, say, his sergeant's office and go around and pick up pieces of paper and say, that's not it. He would even go into the latrine when he found paper on the floor. He'd go, that's not it. So finally, his supervisor sent him off to the army psychiatrist, and so off this he's a seeker. We're all seekers, and we're looking for that thing that says this is it. So he goes in and he's picking up pieces of paper in the psychiatrist's office, and he's going, that's not it, that's not it. And the psychiatrist hands him a piece of paper that says medical honorable discharge. And he goes, oh, that's it. That's what I want you to do. But I think you have to go around picking up the papers first and do the exercise. It's like, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? If you don't know that, how you get to Carnegie Hall, I'll tell you later on. Let us move on to my my exercise. I have it on my computer down here. I got one for North Korea, the royal wedding, but the different location exercise was a bit of a surprise, and it was. I went up, and if you remember, you followed along. You went up into the outer stratosphere. And in my near-death experience in the car accident, that's where I went, outer stratosphere. Didn't quite leave Earth's gravity. So that has led me to go out to the outer limits and come back. It's a lot like theta healing, and that's very popular. Well, I came down, I lowered myself down, felt myself floating down, and I was in a rural village. I was a young woman, maybe 18. That was the number that felt right to me. Many of my contemporaries go to large venues and play cyber games, and these are big pavilions. They are being trained to take over the cyber world. They love doing it, but the smart ones are being pushed too hard. As for me, I like the rural, simple life. I wear black silk pajamas like clothing. I don't know if that's popular in China. I know that Vietnamese do, but I had a distinct feeling of China. I'm hoping for the village I live in to get better plumbing. I think that interaction with countries far away is stupid to me. What good is it when you don't have a bathroom? Where I'm from, here comes the Arctic Express, I hear it. What fun that is. I can see mountains from here. It's cloudy here and chilly. It was really cold, but it was a little chilly. It felt like a climate that wasn't exactly tropical, but it was good enough to grow rice. So I thought that was interesting. It felt very real. And later on, a couple days later, we had the scare from uh, the alert system in Hawaii that said, and it went on for 38 minutes. The United States is under attack, seek shelter. Well, everybody in Hawaii got text messages saying, find underground structure, etc., etc. Complete terror. And you have to imagine how that would feel. It was just, surprised that good for the Hawaiians. They didn't go into a major panic, but even on highways, they got out of their cars and ran to places that had shelter. So I realized that's where I was. Where I was. It was in this um, rice, this village, but the younger people went off to a place where they learned um, psychic, not psychic. They're learning techie, cyber hacking, and this is, I guess, this is going to be the way our it's going to be kind of scary. They can do things, and so I think our government is aware of it, but it's still scary. For North Korea, I felt, and it was kind of logical, but the way I got it did not come from my logic. I was in North Korea, and I could feel South Korea pressing in and China pressing in. It would be like you have two neighbors that are cramping you and pushing you further and further into a sandwich. I actually saw a sandwich. So I said, when I came out, I said, that kind of makes sense. That their problem is they feel sandwiched in. They aren't friends with anybody, you know, and and the Chinese are obviously up to all kinds of stuff. They can control our banking, our communications. You know, it. You know, I know our government is aware of this. So, um, but it was this kind of when a couple days later, when there was the missile alert from Hawaii, I knew. I said that was it. And the young girl said, "Why are we doing this?" She was just, I guess you call her a country girl. And she was like, "Well, why are you doing this? This just, can we just, have a real life?" And so that was my answer. So I want you to take um, heart in your answer. Some of you did great, and it doesn't even matter. But as long as you write it down, it gets your psychic rolling. If you want to use it in everyday life, mankind is evolving to a non-verbal level, and it's happening. And that's why all bipedal, meaning humanoid, uh, sentient beings interact is telepathically. And anytime you have an encounter or awareness of higher beings or different from another place, say aliens or angels, they you just automatically know, or even a loved one, when you have spirit contact, you you're aware that you kind of know what they want to tell you. And when you do nonverbal things, it's not like, we're going to get into that later, how to be nonverbal, but that's for another time. We can only evolve at a certain pace. But remember that um, bipedal human beings, angels, uh, spirit guides, oh my goodness, aliens, they communicate telepathically. And we are on our way. We're into um, drive, I can't think of the name, drive Porlaka. That's not it. We're into a new age, according to the Hindis. We have passed out of Kali Yuga, and we're going into, I can't think of the name. It's Ride Park. No, that's not it. But anyhow, I'm like the guy walking around looking at the pieces of paper going, that's not it. But we are. We've entered a new age. It it started around the turn of the last century, the 1900s, when Yogananda came and began teaching in from the early 20s to 1953 when he passed on. But really around 1970 is the time when people were starting to feel it, and we did really hit a demarcation right after the new century, the 21st century, heralded in new communication and new ways of thinking. So we know that now it's time to get on board. You know, if you can't use it to communicate with, oh, you can communicate with your dog. So that's the fun stuff. So meanwhile, let's look at for our by location exercise and some of the word association. Stay tuned. Are we on? Yes. I wanted to get this little um, picture for you while we do our exercise. So I'm going to just assume that you have the FYI in front of you. I just don't have the fancy camera equipment that I'd like, and it's little. I couldn't carry it all here anyway. It's more fun to be footloose and fancy free. We started off right away last time with a shortened Kriya yoga exercise. We've done this in other videos, and it is what it sets. This is what makes yoga so popular, is ease and stress happening at the same time, and it activates the spine and the nervous system, and if you work with it, it takes you right up to the third eye. So I want you to say this out loud. You're wasting your time if you don't. The whole idea, saying it out loud, stirs up the uh, vibratory ethers around you. It doesn't work any other which way. You externalize your abilities. Now I'm going to say some words, and you say out loud the first things that come to mind. Baseball. Salt. Raindrops. The ocean. Alcohol. Formaldehyde. Ice. Mustard. Swimming pool. Cow. Admiration. Airwaves. Vibration. Cloud. Bicycle. Duck. Lake. Guitar. I'm glad. Thank you for going along with me. I hope you said them out loud. You, the people that do it out loud, I don't need to tell you anymore. That's how you're supposed to do it. Um, Now I want you to say the name of an association or someone you love, like a relative, or a work associate, a boss, a coworker, a neighbor, someone that you see regularly. Maybe it's on a hello, how are you basis, or it can be, you know, an in-law. Say the name and gender and approximate age out loud. It won't hurt you. Just say it out loud. You're not going to progress or enjoy, get the most out of this. Okay, now I want you to see this person drive up in a car. This is the person that you thought of. I want you to think, what kind of car is it? They ask you if you want to ride. And they say, are you going my way? If you have to decide if you want to go. And if you were to go, how would you feel about taking a ride with this person? Now, this person reminds you of somebody that you knew in the past. We are constantly having the same experiences, and associations keep returning to us, but with a different outer appearance. But we have the same people show up over and over in our lives, as you probably know. So this person reminds you of somebody from your past. It could be somebody on television. It could be a neighbor, I think, or school teacher especially. Brings a lot of familiarity for people, or a school friend. Now, what does that tell you about the person in your life now? And the person in your life now? Know that probably there's a tremendous similarity, and that your relationship will repeat pretty much the way it did before, and until you start to recognize these things more. Well, now the next thing we're going to do is something that we did in the last two exercises. It's the shortened Kriya Yoga exercise. Kriya Yoga is what makes yoga so popular nowadays. But you can do it while you're sitting and meditating. It is not always an exercise. It's more about directing your intuition and your energy. This is why swamis and gurus are so amazing in their abilities. They can levitate. And you know, I think we need to have a class on levitation. We have 6 senses. The 6th sense is often referred to as the psychic. They are working all the time, whether you realize it or not. Kriya focuses in on that energy, and it brings your spine inward and upward to your third eye. And if you go to a yoga class, you're going to hear the instructor all the time telling you to straighten out your spine. It's the way towards attunement, or just happiness. And that's what we want, to be aware. So if your sixth sense or psychic third eye, oh, first we want to, the exercise, I want you to, the shortened version, take a deep breath and breathe in. As you do, feel your breath go up to your third eye and release. You want to activate your trapezius and scapula muscles. They're often referred to as angel wings. We have little wings back there in our backs. So if you squeeze those angel wings together until your body shakes a little bit, and while inhaling, draw that energy up to the third eye. If you do this exercise on your own, get some oh God, get some camphophenique to put on your third eye. It helps. It's very refreshing, like eucalyptus or something, or clove oil. But camphophenique is really a good feeling. That's why Hindu people put a little piece of red coloring on their third eye. It's very important. It's like Westerners are just discovering what the Hindi people knew all along. So breathe in, tense up your shoulder blades, pull as if you're holding a tennis ball or a lemon in your shoulder blades, and hold it tight, 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 inhaling up your third eye. Hold it and release. Already you're probably feeling an activation. Now we're going to have a little awareness exercise. If your psychic third eye had a name, what would it be? What's a very flowing, natural name? Once you get it, do say it out loud. It can be many things, of course. It's your third eye, so claim it. This is part of claiming it. Now, if your psychic third eye had a color, claim it. Make it yours. What color is it? If your psychic third eye had a sound, what would it be? Flow with it a little bit. Now, if your psychic third eye, your higher self, we're dealing with our spiritual self when we do these exercises. They seem like parlor games, but they're very high spiritually. If your third eye had a book for you to read, what is your psychic third eye hungry for? What does it desire with passion? You know, passion is a good motivator. It's prana. It gets your prana moving. If your third eye had a song, what would it be? If your psychic third eye or higher self had a smell, what would that be? Would the smell of it be the smell of a flower, an ocean breeze, or your grandmother's perfume? If your psychic third eye had a taste, and you could taste it, what would that taste be? And finally, bring your attention to your angel wings. Breathe in, tense, tense, tense your shoulder blades together, and feel that energy shooting up to your third eye, and it can have a color, a feeling, and a taste, by the way. So now we're going to, with closed eyes, we're going to take our psychic higher self on a walk into a store or a vitamin cabinet. If your psychic higher self wanted you to take a vitamin, what would it be? Do you know what it is? So I'm going to bring the camera back around if it hasn't. Oh, it's still recording. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Because I think that I'm very relaxed from the mineral pools here. The steam was amazing, so it was really fun. So I'm going to go on the relocation or remote viewing exercise we did. I did not expect such fabulous results. And believe me, even if it's silly, who cares? This is this is you, and have a good time. Just send it to me, and also record it, because you'll be surprised, like I was with the young Chinese girl who was unhappy about the cyber activities of her contemporaries. And what a surprise, and I guess it makes sense, just had never occurred to me until we got that warning, and it's going to keep happening, and that's why if you keep working to increase your vibrations, you will always be exactly where you have to be. You don't have to live in fear. At any time, your higher self, as you get attuned, you will naturally begin to be in the right place at the right time. So, I that was funny with the turban. Maybe it'll make me more attuned. Maybe I need a crystal ball. So let me take you up. Do your angel wings. Close your eyes and feel that energy come in and tighten, as if you're holding a tennis ball in your between your shoulders, and come up and shoot it up to your third eye. Now you have a color. It goes up and out. You will have your third eye working like the laser beams that people use for cats. And remember, Jesus said, if thine eyes become single, And there was many things that Jesus said that we're just starting to learn what he meant. He was a guru, and some of my YouTubes are about Jesus was a guru, and he didn't die on the cross. He gave us tools to use, and so you listen to his words, you know. Um, let's take a breath and tighten our shoulders. This is a shortened kriya. Up, inhale, up to your third eye. Now it has a sound. It has a color, and let it shoot out. You feel the warmth there? You will if you don't. Now, this exercise can take you behind closed eyes. You have a magical world, complete magic. There is more inside, behind your closed eyes, in your psychic, spiritual self than is out there in the outer universe. You have more in here than is out there in the Milky Way. So you're going to go up, up. You've been here before at night in your dreams to the outer stratosphere. It's very refreshing. The Earth view is fabulous, and you're really enjoying this floating feeling. You've done this before. Now, just like the sergeant soldier walking around going, he was very focused. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, that's it. Have that same feeling when you come down, and come down at your own speed so that you are enjoying it and in control. And you're waiting for that, oh, that's it. For when you're handed something and you go, oh, that's it. So come on down. Come on down. You can go anywhere. Anything's possible with your spiritual self. Down, 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 down. Oh, I don't want to spend too much time. I'll do this on my own. Take some time. Feel. Look down at your feet. What are you wearing? We're in contemporary times. We want to know things about our world. So what kind of shoes do you have? What are you standing on? How does the air feel? Look around you. What do you see? Are the people around you calm? Are they happy? Or are they distressed? Get a feel for that. What are they wearing? And you're curious. You're open to the way the air feels, the smell, the sounds. What's it like where you are? Okay, I got some interesting things. I'm going to bid adieu. The setting sun has set. And I hope this comes out okay, because the aurora borealis does interfere with electrical things. And I had a nice experience. I want you to use this to find out what it's like in the other parts of the world. That will clue you in to your larger environment. And we're going to do more of the song exercise when we return. It is very valuable. You can use this exercise to ask questions, like, what's it like in Washington, D.C.? Is everything calm?